Hello, it is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot, and we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our external environment, in our interactions with others, and if we would like to see change happen, we actually do need to change what we are doing, change the way that we are thinking, actually change how we respond to our feelings. If you're not doing any of those things, you're like, why is nothing changing? Well, that's why. And if you're doing all of those things and you're like, still, nothing is changing, it may be because your expectations of your results from your changes are still very much more focused on the external world and less focused on your internal well-being. Because, you know, right now I have financial struggles, but I'm so calm and I'm so peaceful. I've had the same struggles before, and I felt really awful the entire time. And right now I feel like everything's going to work out the way it is meant to, and I'm doing my best, and that's all I can do, and I'm bringing my best self to the table, and I'm honoring my gifts and talents, and that's what I was put here to do. So I feel like this time I'm like, yeah, I got the same problems, but look at who I am when those problems exist, you know? And that's the goal, because the goal isn't to like never have any more problems and just to be happy for all time. The goal is to actually figure out how to flow in any situation. Because if you have mastery over your responses and your reactivity, and you're calm, then you are able to think thoughts or even receive thoughts that are going to be more conducive to more positive outcomes. Oh, thank you so much for telling me that the reading I did for you this week is spot on. Let me just catch up with the comments here. I have an energy around you. I actually know who you're talking about. Okay, so someone here is saying that they see an energy around me. They can't share who it is. It's a bright light, and it's on the dresser behind me by the triangle thingy, and that it's an angel. So I have guides, and I call them in every day, and so that doesn't surprise me. But I have somebody who turns the lights on and off, too. So you might see, in fact, I think in a reading I just did, if you go back and watch my readings on Tuned in Tarot YouTube from last week, I did a number of them, and there's one I'm doing when it's the camera's a bit darker, like it's nighttime. You can see the light turn off behind me. So and it's plugged into a different outlet than the lights that used to always act weird behind me over here. So I definitely have visitation. Nothing feels malevolent though. It feels all good. Like protective energy and helping to bring messages in. But thank you for noticing. I think they enjoy being seen when they are seen by people who can see them. So that's fun. That's a fun way to introduce the reading. So what reading is it today? It's Friday, which is Venus's day. I celebrate love, self-love, taking care of the self-care. Friday's a fun day, enjoying yourself, being, you know, sensual Venus energy, and then of course relationship. But you know, if you don't want to focus on a relationship, then you can always use my readings as and in fact, if everyone did this, they would probably benefit all around. If you looked at my readings as the relationship you have with self versus another person, they're very effective that way. I think that it's a lot more conducive to making changes when your expectation of change is coming from something you can actually control, which is how you are behaving, how you are reacting, how you're responding, like we were saying in the intro to the video. Okay, so thank you so much for those comments. Please, if you leave comments on YouTube, know that I do get to them. It usually takes me a little bit, but I do appreciate the feedback. Lately, people have been telling me that they've been watching for years and that I've really helped them. And hearing that is so helpful to me, keeps me motivated, and it also lets other people know that I have valuable messages to bring. So please comment, like, and share. And if you feel so called, and if you also feel called, please book a personal reading or send a donation or a gift or a deck, and I will send back so much gratitude. I do video readings for people who send gifts. I usually read the first reading on the deck for them. So if you're interested in receiving a reading from your own deck, so to speak, and one that carries your energy with it. But I pick up a deck that I got 3 years ago, and I know who gave it to me, and I think of them. So it's such a lovely gift. So if you want to do that for me, I'd be so honored to do that. The links in my profile, there's a whole bunch of decks that I would call in, and if there's one that you like for me and I haven't included my list, or if you don't want to buy it on Amazon, which I totally get, and you'd like to support another creator, just hit me up and we'll figure it out. I will figure out how to get your deck safely to me. But thank you so much, and let us now begin with the thinking. I'm adding feeling, saying, doing, reading. It used to be thinking, saying, doing, and then last week I put feeling in, and I was like, wait, I should have always had that in there. So we're going to look at masculine and feminine side, and we're going to go back and forth like a nice little dialogue, kind of. Oh, excuse me. And we are going to look at each one and how they're thinking and feeling about the connection. So this could be with another person, or this could be your connection with yourself, as I said before. You can think of the masculine energy sort of as the energy of your mind, the energy of the side of self that like takes action, goes and does things. It would be like, the way that I like to describe it is, excuse me, if you're a musician and you're playing music, the creative part where you are receiving a melody or you are acting, you're doing the masculine energy of like playing the piano, but then suddenly something inspiring starts to happen and you hear a melody or a lyric occurs to you, or the act of taking the inspiration from just an idea and actually making it happen. The inspiration is the energy, that's the Shakti, and the bringing it into creation in the 3D is the Shiva. Now you can recognize that if we only associated feminine energy or Shakti with females, then female gender identifying and biologically female people, then they wouldn't be able to bring forth the creation from their body, because they actually have to actively give birth, which is a masculine energy. And then they have to like protect and guard and that child, and that is the masculine energy. So it's not about gender. It's the energy of the whole person. It's just a shabby way. Honestly, the masculine feminine language thing is just a shabby way of talking about these polar energies that are always in flux that we exist on a spectrum of. Okay. I have described that maybe over 300-400 times, because I've done so many readings, and I feel like every time I describe it, it could be different, it could be more nuanced. So I guess it never gets old. We're going to look at the overall energy surrounding divine masculine right now. I'm picking up the first card of the reading, and what is overall on this divine masculine's mind is interesting to me. It's the Hierophant, which is a complex card. So my feeling is that he's got like layers, lots of thoughts kind of going on. Some of them are very structured and hierarchical and traditional. Others are not at all. And there's kind of a little back and forth going on with tradition and defying tradition. There's also the spiritual element of this card, which is about faith. It's about taking vows, sacred vows, and learning your spiritual lessons in your life. Fives, which the Hierophant is, are halfway points, and it's usually a place where your faith is challenged. When you're halfway there, that's the point where if you give up now and go back, you have the same amount of ground to cover. If you decide to keep going and you move forward, giving up and going home is going to be a lot more difficult for you to do mentally. So it's like a moment of truth. It tests your faith. And so something on this divine masculine's mind is testing his faith. There is a feminine represented here, which is, it's actually, as I'm looking at it, it's kind of an androgynous energy, to be honest. So it's actually both energies, which is interesting. But I saw a more feminine energy coming from it, which is making me think that the masculine is thinking a little bit about whether or not their person's emotions are faithful to them. So maybe there's the situation that's going on between you and your person is a testing the relationship's strength. And from the masculine perspective, or from the energy of the mind, the thoughts are like, is this person actually going to be faithful to me during this time of challenge? um that's what's coming up for me. I of course would be remiss if I did not mention that this card is also associated with marriage. And so I do think that it is likely that you and your person have thoughts right now of marriage, of making vows, of being faithful. All of those things are on the mind for the masculine energy. For the feminine, we have the Ace of Wands, which is desire. And it's like, it could be new desire. There could be a new energy that has come through. And maybe that is the fear that the masculine has here, that this new energy is going to tempt, because this is an energy that's usually physical intimacy, sexy times energy. So it's going to tempt the feminine energy away from the higher calling, the spiritual calling of the connection as perceived by the mind. So this, for those of you that are needing me to put this into, like, how would this apply to you? This could be for people that are in situations where they themselves are an energy that is a temptation to a masculine that is committed, or you could be seeing your person potentially being tempted away from their commitment to you. Those are all different ways that you might be experiencing this kind of overall energy. And then for some, it is just truly, I desire to be in a marriage. I desire to be in a committed, long-term, traditional relationship with my person. Or I desire to find that. Or maybe the opposite, complete opposite, that I want something completely non-traditional. And you're thinking about that. So those are all different permutations of how we might interpret the energy of those cards. I need water a lot today. Everybody hydrate. So my sister got me so many cute things. She got me this necklace, this 888 necklace, when she went to Burlington, Vermont to check it out, which is close. It's like 3 hours from us. And then she got me this cute little ashtray that's a strawberry for my medicinal purposes. And then this which is so cute. And it says, let's save the world together. And it's really cute. And I can't wait to wear that. Side note. Okay, moving on. All right, that was a little... Hopefully everybody had a chance to get a drink. All right, so that's the overall energy. Divine Feminine is desiring something very much. The heart feels pulled or called. And the Divine Masculine is like devoted to the idea of having a long-term faithful connection in some way. So what is underlying this energy? For the Divine Masculine, we have the Page of Pentacles. So I definitely see here, there is this person that is determined to propose a long-term commitment. And it's behind the scenes. This is the bottom of the deck, so it's hidden. It's not apparent. It's also the supporting energy. It's like the hidden assistance placement for me. So they feel they're going to show up even if they don't have a lot. They feel like they have to make some kind of a material offer here. Because of this, the Divine Feminine here has this sorrow in her, on the bottom of her deck. So that's the energy of heartbreak, heartache, but it's the energy of healing it. And the way that you heal this painful energy is in and of itself painful. It requires you to take that sword, the Ace of Swords, which is the truth, and see clearly this Two of Swords here, how your indecision or decisions, depending on how you approach the Two of Swords. Most of us, it's we don't want to make a choice, so we just sat there. how not doing anything was actually what caused us the most pain. And knowing that we need to get up and do something now. And if we don't, we're going to keep being in this sorrowful energy. And that's where this burst of energy is coming from with the Ace of Wands. It's like, I'm healed. I can't sit in this position anymore and pretend that I'm not. Because that's really what I was doing in the Two of Swords. I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to wait for this person to come and make a choice and, you know, hope they make the right one and I'll just heal. But it's long past the point where your wounds have healed and you've still been waiting there, which in and of itself has become a new, fresh wound. So, this is a motivator for the feminine to get out of this energy. No more Two of Swords, no more waiting for other people to make decisions for me. When I feel called, I will go where my heart is called. I will not be my own, I will not self-harm anymore. I will not be like my own worst enemy, I guess, is something that's very consuming to the divine feminine. Now, what this is looking like for me is, so if we were saying this about a masculine person, or a person identifying a masculine energy rather, what that looks like to me is this person really desires to make an engagement because he wants to make up for the sorrow he's caused by not making that decision to step forward sooner, and to make up for any potential third party energy that was a pain point in the connection. And that can be anything. It can be career, it can be another person, it can be, you know, the obligations from another family, but there's something that was a pain point. And this person is determined to get past that. What this might mean for people identifying in their feminine energy is that they are tired of receiving breadcrumbs, of hurting themselves by waiting for breadcrumbs, by being kind of stuck at this halfway point and not progressing. And they're seeing that they're making their decision now, that instead of turning around and going back, that they're going to move forward. So that could go either way. Let's see what happens. Okay, so divine masculine, what are you thinking right now about the connection? We have the Ace of Cups. That makes sense. If you want to come forward and make some kind of a proposal, then you're definitely thinking about offering somebody a cup of love. I'm also seeing a bunch of hands here. So that's an interesting sensation for me. And I think there's probably more than one masculine energy experiencing a couple different scenarios. I think we have some probably further along on their journey that are ready to offer the cup to one, even though there may be many clamoring for it. I think that in some cases there are some that want to offer the cup, but they're still a little bit uncertain about who to offer it to because there's a lot of options in the mix. But there's someone standing out that they're noticing more than the others, but I feel like they're not quite there yet. I do think that there's probably a few different people that are experiencing this reading, so it's going to make sense that some people are like, you know, their person is fully at the moment of like, yeah, no, I know what I need to do and who I need to give this to, and there's no question in my mind. But there also may be some regret there that they kind of shared from their cup with a lot of others that maybe didn't really deserve to receive from their cup the way that the feminine energy did. The feminine energy, what is she thinking about the connection? This is the Wheel of Fortune. It's about damn time. It's about damn time for something to happen. I have been going around and around and around and around, but I'm feeling I'm coming out on top. Like this next time around, I'm coming out on top. And that means that I'm probably not going to be hanging around waiting for somebody to make a decision for me. I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take a risk. But I think ultimately this connection, while it is a gamble for me, I would probably bet on it. I would bet on it because I know what I want. I know what I want. And this love that's coming from this cup, this is a love like, this is the type of love that I want. So if I were a betting person, I would put all my money on this connection. What is divine masculine actually feeling? We have the Queen of Cups. Okay, well, he definitely feels this sensitivity, and maybe is really in his feels, really in his emotions. And I also think that he does look at the divine feminine as being this very beautiful, very compassionate, very sensitive, very loving energy too, very nurturing. But it's like he is feeling like this. He is feeling this within him. And it's like a heart opening kind of an energy, a softening of the energy. There may be a little bit of learning how to navigate all the emotions. It might be a little bit overwhelming to be like, wow, this is the person that I want to be with forever, and I'm feeling so many feels about that, and I'm not, and now that I'm finally letting myself feel feels, um there's just so much here. I mean, all my cards on the table right now towards the connection are cups. So I am just feeling all types of things, and I'm thinking about my feelings in ways I haven't thought of before. The feminine is feeling, oh my god, the Hierophant. So everything we said about that, I don't even have to repeat it. If you didn't quite get my lesson on the Hierophant, just go back to the very beginning of the reading when I pulled it first with Divine Feminine's desire for the Hierophant. So what is she feeling? She's feeling committed. She's feeling very committed to her spiritual journey, which she is experiencing through this connection. I definitely feel this major energy coming from her. And that's very interesting too. Divine Masculine has had nothing but feelings coming out, and Divine Feminine has had these major arcana things. So this is a major, she knows this is a really important, significant connection or moment in her life. However, she's fully committed to this. So for those of you that are looking at this as like your connection with yourself, this is you recognizing that if you want something, you can't break your heart anymore just sitting on the fence with it. You need to go one step at a time. You need to just pour your heart into this. You need to take a risk. You need to tap into your intuition and be fully committed to this, whatever it is. That's how you might be experiencing this energy inside of you. So we see what's the masculine thinking. We see what he's saying, what he's feeling, and now what is he saying? Thinking, feeling, saying, doing. What's he actually saying to the Divine Feminine? 6 of Wands. Okay. This might be an indicator. If we've hit this position and your person is nowhere near this point, you might be thinking of a person that's not truly reflecting back your energy accurately. Because the person who would accurately be reflecting your energy, what they would be saying right now is, I want to go public. I want to... And it might be like that it's coming in this near future. But if you're not seeing this type of energy coming like in the next, like, I'm going to say 7 days, 7 to 14-ish days, if you don't see that coming from your person, then you're probably focused on someone that's not quite in alignment with you. And there might be someone else that's sort of waiting for you to sort of see them step out into the spotlight so that you can claim victory with them. You might be anticipating a false victory with someone. But this energy is like, is saying, I'm determined to have success here. I'm determined to do this right. I'm determined to share this with others so that this is a publicly acknowledged connection. And I know that my role is to bring you peace and not more turmoil. That's definitely something that I feel this Divine Masculine energy is saying. It's time for us to have a publicly acknowledged, publicly recognized connection, and to claim the success that I know that we can have together. What's Divine Feminine saying? We have the 10 of Swords. Yeah, I'm done. This card actually says despair. We see the feminine energy stuck here with these swords pinned down to the ground like a butterfly. And I do feel from the feminine energy, with pairing it with this 6 of Wands, this is like, I'm done with secrets. I'm done with being hidden. I'm done with, yes, this is your energy, because if this is not your energy, then you're not with me. Because this is the only energy I receive. remember, I'm no longer going to be stuck, right? I'm getting out of this stuck energy. That's what my determination is to do. So, yeah, I'm done. So most likely if there's a person that has been keeping you hidden, not communicating openly, you what you're saying is like nada. You're not saying anything to that person. You're like, yeah, no, I'm not interested. If you come here and bring peace and we can have a real conversation, fine, I'll consider it. But no, I'm not really interested in anything except for liberation here. I'm not going to be stuck in anymore in this connection with you in this way. So, I desire to not be in pain anymore. That's just my whole thing, right? With this Three of Swords at the bottom of my deck, I do not want pain anymore. I want something new. I want rebirth, I don't want to end up back on the ground here. So what is divine masculine actually going to do then towards the connection? All right, so we have here the King of Swords and wow, the Ten of Swords. Oh my God, there's been like so much union in this reading. It's kind of crazy. Okay, well, this is the communicator in the tarot. The King of Swords communicates directly. He's in his integrity. He tells the truth. He takes action. And the Ten of Swords is ending something. So, and it's the masculine that's stuck here in this image. So it's, oh, actually it could be feminine too. It's kind of an androgynous energy, but so for me, it's like, what am I doing? I'm communicating. I'm talking to you about it. I'm telling you about it. So if the person that you're focused on is not now or within the next couple of weeks actually talking to you about the things that make them feel stuck, the thoughts that kept them in place, locked in place, the fears they've had that have kept them from just taking action and doing things. If you're not getting a conversation about this within this next couple of weeks, your energy may be focused on somebody who's really not in alignment with your energy, because this energy is ready to communicate and ready to put an end to the thoughts, the limited thinking that has kept you from moving forward and being successful in connections and in career and in finances, in all these different ways. Divine Feminine, what is Divine Feminine actually doing? Can't make it up. We have the Star here. So another major arcana card for Divine Feminine. So now we have for her the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, and the Star. And this is somebody who is really wishing and hoping and healing and being a star, being vulnerable. She's completely naked in this image. I would probably get in trouble for showing it completely. She is putting herself out there. She is shining and really, really, I think, making a difference in other people's lives in ways that she was meant to do it, like in a cosmic way. And from the way things appear here, it looks like the Divine Masculine energy wants to talk about that, wants to talk about Divine Feminine star power. So whatever creative energy that you have, whatever thing that you have been hoping or wish or dream you have, it's like your head is finally like, yeah, I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to think, I don't want to be defeated or despairing over this anymore. I don't want to think because I'm 42 and fat and poor and not, somehow like connected in the music industry at the level that I want to be connected in, that I can't do music at all. Like, I don't want to think that way. Why would I think that? Why would I let myself be limited that way? Why? Why? I can't even follow the simplest instructions when I'm at a 9-to-5 job because I have zero respect for the people that I'm working for. These giant corporate entities that are just fucking all of us. I have zero respect. So when I'm told to do something at a job like that, I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm going to do the least amount of effort here because I don't fucking care about this company and you don't fucking care about me, right? If I can just do that in my 9 to 5 and just be like, fuck you, I don't need this money, then why the fuck would I let some stupid limiting belief I have come in and tell me I'm doing something wrong and so I can't do it? Fuck you to tell me that. I don't respect that voice anymore. That voice is the voice of someone that's going to live their entire lives in fear. And it's like, I can't even hear that anymore. I'm going to start defying my, like, weird corporate boss that's in my head. That's like, you didn't follow your schedule and you're going to fail because you didn't do... Shut up. What do you know about it? You're going to be here, voice, stuck there for the rest of your life, complaining and judging. I am a star, and I'm going to go shine, doing whatever the hell I want to do. See you later. There's nothing better than that feeling. So your person is having that same kind of experience. Your person is like, my God, I've been limiting myself. I've been hurting myself. I've been hurting the person that I love. And I've been doing that because I've been afraid that I was going to keep doing that. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. If I really don't want to keep doing that, I guess I should stop doing that. Ow, it hurts when I do this. Oh, I should stop doing that, right? Okay. I got the message. All right. So then what's the thing for each one of these sides of self that's really going to bring harmony to their connection? Divine Masculine, 3 of Wands, get to it. See the snake here? This is the snake that creeps in when you wait too long. This is the self-doubt. You can see your potential. You're like, oh, I can see it. I just gotta go. I just gotta walk out to the ship, to the dock. I just gotta go there. It's my ship, right? That's my ship that's coming in. That's mine, right? That's mine. That's the one that's for me. Is that one for me? And you look around and you start to see people going towards your ship and you're like, maybe that's not for me. I don't know. That is the hesitation that has to change in your character. You hesitate, you let the self-doubt creep in, slither around, and really test your faith. And it's okay. Everyone does it. You're not doing something horrible or bad or wrong. But what you are doing is preventing yourself from really having what you want. And you're not going to get what you want if you don't go play. You have to play, right? You're not like, people are like, oh, maybe I'll win the lottery. And they didn't even buy a ticket. It's kind of a thing. What do you need to do, Divine Feminine? Oh, nothing. You just need to get rid of this devil. The same devil. The same little creepy energy that's down there. This is ego. Big ego. This is that voice we talked about. The one we were like, get the fuck out of here. What do you mean? You're trying to tell me what to do, where to go, when, and how, and whether that's going to work or not. And you don't even have my best interest at heart. All you want to do is keep the status quo because you're used to this kind of discomfort. You've had this kind of misery before and you're fine with it. And that's the only reason that you're telling me that I should do it this way. Because you're wrong, actually. I shouldn't go to sleep right now. I am not that tired. What I actually could do is finish the thing that I put on my list and have looked at for 3 days. I'm not going to listen to that voice anymore. The voice that's like, yeah, but you could just start tomorrow, though, because then, tomorrow seems like it's probably going to be a little bit nicer outside, so you'll feel like it more. When it's sunny in your room, you always feel more like doing stuff, right? Just a blatant lie. When it's sunny in your room, you just want to go outside. But no, you're going to listen to that. You're going to be like, oh, that's true. Oh, yeah, totally. It's okay. Everybody does it. But you have to stop. You have to stop listening to that little voice that's whispering things to you that are just really unhelpful. You know what I did? I probably look insane now, but again, since when has that ever mattered to me? It never will. It never does. What I do now is I have premium YouTube, so I can freaking play 1,000 YouTube videos at once. And I literally checkerboard my screen with a bunch of Reiki whispering people. Whatever my issue is, like if I'm having low back pain, then I have all that root chakra stuff, or like I literally just do that so that the only thing that's whispering in my room instead of the devil is a bunch of people going, "You're amazing. I love you. You deserve to be healthy." Okay? That's what's whispering now in my room. I literally replaced the whispers of the devil with the whispers of healing angelic beings and a bunch of ASMR experiences that just feel amazing. And then I have like a healing sound frequency on in the background. Like, you try to get in here. Like, try, devil. Try to get through. You can't. People saw an angel in the back of my room to begin with. It's honestly probably the Archangel Michael. I wouldn't put it past him. I have been really blocking that voice out. That's what you must do. If you do not block that voice out, you will stay stuck. And it's a liar. It is lying to you. I swear. It's hard to tell, but it is lying. So, okay, that's what you got to do. So that's your work. If you don't do anything and you just continue as you're going forward, the outcome here is one of those things that's like, this is what will happen. So if you don't take the change, if you don't, stop letting this self-doubt make you hesitate, and if you don't face that demon or addiction or voice that makes you feel that self-doubt, then you would end up feeling defeated. Because here's what you wish for, the 9 of Cups, and then here's how conflicted you are about it. So your happiness potential really depends on your ability to counter this self-doubt. Self-doubt is a protective energy. So, I've been talking shit to it, but maybe another approach for you might be, look, I know that you love me. I know you're trying to be protective of me. You don't want me to go out in the big city. You don't want me to get hurt. But if I don't go out this door and do all these things, that is hurting. That's hurting me. There is a type of therapy called internal family systems that is a brilliant type of therapy. I know it's difficult to find therapists nowadays, and even more difficult to find ones that practice the type of therapy that you want, but if you're in a situation where you're looking for a therapist and you have the ability to choose, try to look for somebody with IFS or internal family systems, because what they do is they take all these fractured voices that we have in our heads that come from all the different messages we receive through childhood. And these voices become almost personas, We always have, you have your mom's voice in your head. You have your dad's voice in your head if you had those experiences, your grandparents. The weird aunt that didn't like, how you wore your hair and made you feel weird. Like, whatever. There's always some voices in there. So there's, like, actual family members. But then there are these voices that you develop that are personas. And, like, one I always had, I called it the health Nazi. Like, which really was a voice for what would probably be orthorexia. Like, my fear of food after living an eating disordered life for many years. Then it became this just fear of every type of food. Fear of water. Fear of everything. And fear of being unhealthy with every single action that I had. Oh, you're wearing a synthetic fabric. That's unhealthy. Oh, you're doing this. Oh, that's unhealthy. So when I went into my session and first learned about this, what I was told is that voice has a job. And the thing is, you gotta give it a job because it's a part of you. And it's good at something. So what's a health Nazi good at? Well, it's good at helping you make healthy choices, okay? But is it helping you make healthy choices when you're feeling judged and you're feeling bad and you're feeling afraid? No, it's not, okay? If it's latching on to all of these fears and then trying to enforce them on you, now this is not very helpful. So what can it do? Well, now you can say, look, now what I need you to do is I need you to look out for all the times when I'm actually just being orthorexic. So instead of being like orthorexic, could you please actually be on the lookout for that, so that instead of you being like, you have to do this or you have to do that, that instead you notice when I'm being that way. And guess what? That part of me is really good at that. Is be like, bitch, now you're being orthorexic. You don't want to be like that. So it literally just needed clear instructions about how to help me. It's not helping me when it's making me insane. It is helping me when it's noticing when it's making me insane, right? The my binger, her whole role, she was meant to make me feel comforted, make me feel soothed, make me feel nurtured, make me feel mothered. She was there when my emotions were out of whack, or when I felt alone and I wanted to remember all the fun times I had when I would eat certain foods with people and it would bring those memories back. She wanted to make sure that if I was crying, that there was something that would soothe me, okay? Brilliant component to have in yourself. So we changed her role. We're like, okay, so now the thing is, when you're giving me all of these foods that really do create all the sensations that I just described, then it's adding this other element of discomfort and inflammation, and it's making me actually feel worse. So what are some other ways you can make me feel comforted and soothed? Can you be good at finding ways I like feeling soothed? And then she was like, let's binge on ASMR. Let's binge on knitting. Let's binge on, thank you. Let's binge on, like, you know, getting a bunch of tarot cards and interpreting them. Like, the binger doesn't go away. She's part of me, but she has a different job now. So we're not so focused on food anymore as my soothing. We have other tools in the toolbox, and she runs right there and gets them. She's like, "Oh, you like this toy? You like this toy?" If you're a Labyrinth fan, I'm thinking about the weird lady that has like, she's got like the pack of stuff on her back, and she keeps trying to give all these toys to Sarah to distract her. Thank you for the heart, to try to like get her to do what she wants her to do. So I'm thinking of that kind of an energy. She's a little frazzled, but she has good intentions. But there's obviously okay ways for me to binge, right? Like, I think everybody's happy that I binged on tarot cards. Nobody's complaining about that. And I'm not either. It helped me. So that's what I'm talking about. When you can take those voices and put them to work for you, or acknowledge that really they're not there to be hated. They're not meant to be, you know, to cause anger or pain. They're meant to show you that you are defeating yourself. You're protecting, you're selfishly guarding all of your wishes, which is also preventing all of them from coming to life. And you're doing that because you probably experienced conflict and trauma. And so that's what you know to do. But the second you address this self-doubt and this voice that's come in and told you, you know, you can't have or do or be because I don't want you to get hurt. The second you start to acknowledge that voice is trying to keep you from getting hurt, and you redirect its energy, I think that you will experience a huge shift in your life. And guess what? When you change, so do the people around you that you attract. That's why sometimes some people fall away and others step up. All right. So we're going to do a treat today. We didn't do the Tell Me Everything reading this week. If you missed it this week, I did one last week. So go check out last week's on, I think it was Wednesday. But I decided I would just do a card today that was like the way I end Tell Me Everything's, where the masculine will say something to the feminine and the feminine will say something to the masculine. And we're going to hydrate again. Everybody hydrate. Okay. Buffalo Spirit came out in reverse with the protection energy, and it says the abundant universe will provide. Now what's really funny about that is the necklace my sister gave me is this 888 necklace, which on the card she gave me says abundance and has a butterfly. And if you know my music, I have a song called Bison and Butterfly, and so that is just so fun. And if you want to hear that song, go to Pearl's Prayers, and there is a video of it on there, and it's a great song, and it's going to be coming out soon on an EP. Okay, Buffalo Spirits is saying, this is what the Divine Masculine would say to the Divine Feminine right now. I'm also noting that this is the number 10, which seems significant. And what he would say is, lately, I have been working on shifting my thinking from poverty consciousness to one where I trust the universe will provide. I noticed that for a while I had been falling into financial insecurity and worrying that there would not be enough money in the future. I was stressing and feeling sorry for myself, worrying that because I had no romantic relationship now, I would never be able to have one. But now I can see that scarcity, but now I can see that where there was scarcity before, there is now, in fact, abundance. I stopped comparing myself to others and falling short. I recognized that self-pity, entitlement, fear, and lack are all thought viruses that seduced me into darkness. I have been nudged to make a gratitude list and be mindful of my thoughts at this time. And I know that even if outer events have happened to challenge my beliefs in abundance, that outer conditions are temporary. And that if I'm suffering from the malaise of fear that I am impoverished, I realize that it is only poverty of perception and perspective. Prayer, communion with my higher power, and gratitude coupled with compassionate self-service really does snap me right out of it now. When I give to someone who has less than I do, that's another thing that really helps me. I'm so thankful for the tiniest things, and I often say affirmations. This helps me to remember that abundance is the true nature of the world. Wow. Okay. So that's a totally different masculine energy than normal. And I'm excited. That is literally a complete release of the limiting beliefs surrounding finances that keep you from being able to do what you want or do what you wish for, etc. And he's got one more card, but let's go to the Divine Feminine's response card. She's got a starfish, of course, with her star card that came out at the end. And we've got open to infinite possibility. And here's what she would say to the masculine. Stretched out on the beach, the starfish opens fully to the rays of the sun, to the power of potential. As I look out toward the horizon, I open up to infinite possibility. Spirit is the source of opportunities beyond my wildest imagination and ensures endless possibilities are available. At this time, I am urging you to stretch past the limits of your everyday perception and comfort zone, to dream of bigger things, and imagine with even greater hope and faith, for miraculous potential is shining down on you. Feel it, bask in it, and open yourself to be filled with inspiration. This is a very fortunate sign that I have come to remind you of your infinite potential. We love those messages. We're here for them. Okay, and the final messages coming out, and I also have a self-care card too, but this is for the masculine. We're getting permission. He's getting permission for something. This is number 38. No one is ever going to give you permission to live your most fabulous life. Stop waiting for their approval. Whipping out your permission flag and waving it all over the garden of your life is key right now. It doesn't matter if you think you are too old or too untalented or not smart, skilled, or supported enough. Dreams visit you because they want a way into the world, and you are their pathway. You can argue for your possibilities or your limitations. I'm sure you can guess which one creates a more satisfying life. Get up from the table of too much and not enough. Walk out onto the field of possibility and wave your permission flag. You owe it to yourself to see what happens when your own approval is all you need. Okay, then. Please hear that message. And then the final message for the Divine Feminine is listen. Bitch, listen. Be very still. Seek your own company. It doesn't matter what other people think. You may believe it does. The whole world, including all your loved ones, can shout from the rooftops what you should or shouldn't do. But if your inner voice does not concur, you need to walk away from their noise. It's time to get quiet. The answer is within you, but you'll need to create a space of deep listening in order to decipher the truth that comes from that still, small voice, rather than the voice of those who want you to act a certain way or for your best interest. Their advice often springs from their own best interest, in hopes of you acting in ways to make them comfortable or secure. You do not need to be afraid. The soul will never lead you astray. Wait until you can hear its simple song, and then let it be your compass. How beautiful. Both messages are very similar, right? You know, we have the Divine Masculine that's like, you don't need permission to be who you are. And we have the Divine Feminine energy, which is like, you need to listen to your own voice and don't worry about what other people are thinking or saying or how you're doing things or whatnot. Um, Beautiful. So those two energies really work well together. And then the final self-care activity for this week, I don't hate it, number 44, it's sex, girl. It's sex. That's the self-care for this week. Okay. Well, now remember, if you don't have a partner for that, your best partner is always you, honey, because you know exactly what you like. All right. I am experiencing the cosmic O. I am experiencing the cosmic orgasm is the mantra for this card. It says, there is a deep well of joy, bliss, and healing available to us through sex when it is treated as a sacred experience of divine union. To achieve the deepest states of pleasure and connection, we must have an open heart and body, trust, and be able to hold the frequency of pure presence. Tune into your body's innate wisdom to uncover what kind of sexual experience or lover you would like to call in. Through this reflection, acknowledge your sexual history. Be honest with yourself about any limiting beliefs, blocks, or trauma you may need to work through. If there is a lot to unpack here, you may need to seek the support of a professional. As you grow comfortable exploring your own body and your lover's body, as well as expressing your unique essence, desires, and emotions, you will find additional layers of pleasure. Sex is one of the most incredible ways to cultivate your potent light force energy, also known as Kundalini or Shakti, which you can channel into all areas of your life. Did we or did we not talk about Shakti today? The journal prompt is, what kind of sexual experience would you like to call into your life? Dream big, honey. That's dream big. That's what I'm saying. Just dream big. Anyway, so you'd like to call that experience into your life. If you got real shy or you got frustrated because you were like, well, how could I have that experience if I don't have a partner? Or stuff kind of came up for you around that, it might be a call for you to explore that a little bit and see like what's coming up there for you when that energy comes out, and that's your self-care activity. And it's not something that you feel like is easy for you or even feels good for you to explore. You might want to look at that, and you might want to acknowledge that this is a healthy part of life, and there might be a way for you to like have a healthier relationship with it. And then remember that it's also about creative energy. So if you're just really not about the body right now and you're not interested in experiencing that way, then go for the creative juices. Get the creative juices flowing. Go and have a peak experience in some kind of a practice that you have. It could be, it literally could be a runner's high. It's just working towards something, creating that peak experience where you have some kind of a fulfillment or a release of some kind. Music can also simulate the experience of that build and release energy. But there is something about allowing yourself to experience pleasure that's important. Particularly with the Devil card coming out for us, there may be those that are very uncomfortable with that energy, and it's some sexual healing with the Star card that is being called for. Maybe some people who've had some traumas that really are being called to explore that type of an energy of sexual healing right now. All right, so I'm going to close down this YouTube reading now and just focus on TikTok personal readings if anybody wants one. But thank you so much for being here with me. Please go book the services, send the donations, do all the things to help my channel and to help support me. And I shall return soon. I should be posting this weekend. My schedule this week got a little bit off. My sister's visiting, and so it was just a little bit different this week. But hopefully I will be back and posting daily again this weekend. So take care.